Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with lately it's been very severe.
Yeah.
We have a very severe parenting problem. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going, Caroline?
I have two gripes at the moment.
Oh boy.
One, Lily is refusing to sleep in her pack and play, but we're in our toddler bed, so that's good. I just have to remember to lock all of the gates and keep a close eye on her tonight. And two, you still have not figured out how to let me podcast from bed. And it is snowing outside, and I would like to be warm and cozy in my bed. So I'm going to need you to figure that one out for me, please.
Well, I mean, we can, I guess, technically do it, but the sound quality may not be up to snuff.
But I'll be warm and cozy. I feel like that wins.
I'll see what I can do. We'll get our executive producer on that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And our producer, wherever she is. But we have another great show planned out this week. We are going to talk about our two kids and what our experience has been like with two toddlers in the house.
I mean, they're pretty adorable, but we officially have another child toddling around the house.
We do.
So it changes lots of things.
Mr. Elliot started walking in the last couple weeks.
And now he's really good at it. He still falls a lot.
He does.
But not as much as he used to.
Exactly, yeah. So he started walking in December when he was 10 months old, which, if you've been following along, that is exactly what his mom...
One of his mom and baby nurses said.
One of his mom and baby nurses said. Because he was trying to roll over less than 24 hours old, which if you're a parent, that's a milestone for like a month or something.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
It's a while, but these pandemic babies, man, they're crazy.
So he's walking, Lily's running and twirling and stopping.
And telling everyone else to stop as well.
Yes. Or no, I do.
Yeah.
That's her favorite phrase.
God forbid we try to do anything and not include Lily.
But we will get to all of that and all of the quirks of having two toddlers in the house. But right now, I noticed that you have an adult beverage in front of you.
I do. And I posted it on the gram because I'm cool like that.
Yeah.
And you do that all the time. So I should get to do that from time to time too.
Well, speaking of the gram, I started my own Instagram account.
I noticed that.
It's at Craft Parenting Joe. So I will be posting what I am drinking separate from the Craft Parenting account because I think from a branding perspective, I don't know, I think that people want to know about the content that we post versus what I'm drinking. So if you want to see what I'm drinking or what I'm taking pictures of, you can follow me at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram. But you mentioned the snow before and how it's very chilly out. That drink in front of you might cure all of that.
I mean, it might. So I am currently drinking a Westside Brewing Peanut Butter Milk Stout. It is 6.7% ABV and 32 IBU. Their description is, our peanut butter milk stout features aromas of chocolate, coffee, peanut butter, and a light roast note. A dash of oats is also used in the brew to provide a full malty body. The nutty peanut butter flavor works with the sweetness from the lactose to help soften the roastiness, which comes through mostly on the finish. It is a very delicious beer.
Yeah.
And I drove through a snowstorm to go get it with Lily in the car. So Hillary and Steven had their baby, and they requested some outfits if we had any extra lying around. So Lily and myself packed up a little bag with extra outfits for their little one, went and dropped off said outfits and a few other things. And then we're like, hey, let's go to Westside and pick up some to-go beers because maybe we'll be snowed into our house for forever. I mean, we're only supposed to get 1 to 2 inches, so we'll be fine. But, I mean, who knows? Let's get more beer. So we picked up some peanut butter milk stout, some Missing Link, because they still had some of that, some of their Imperial cold brew, and some Vienna lager. And Lily made a friend, though they both got way too shy to talk to each other. It was really cute. And then Lily played in their parking lot, running around to try and get the snowflakes, which don't super recommend, but no one was out on the roads. So I let her have 5 minutes of running around like crazy in the snow before she had to go to bed.
There's just so much. Legal department's like, wee. So first of all, I want to clarify. You went out before the snowstorm. to West Side.
The snow started while we were at West Side.
Okay, but it was 1 to 2 inches was not on the ground.
We hadn't even gotten a dusting yet. I was doing stuff for dramatic effect.
Second of all, Lily was not running around a parking lot. There was no one there. You said.
There were like 4 cars in the parking lot and like 8 people in the tap room, one of which was a little girl that wanted to dance with Lily. And then they got within like 6 inches of each other like they were going to hug. And then they got way too shy to do anything. And Lily ran over and gave me a hug.
And I stayed home with Elliot.
Y'all had some manly man bonding time.
He watched Elmo.
I mean, everybody likes Elmo.
Is Elmo a manly man?
I mean, Elmo's 3.5, so Elmo can be whatever he wants to be when he grows up.
Sure.
So that was my crazy story for how I got this beer. What are you drinking, Hubs? I noticed that you have like 10 drinks in front of you. Where did you get all of these?
Well, okay, I don't have 10 drinks, but I did snag one of those Vienna lagers from Westside Brewing that you, quote, drove through the snowstorm to get. And as we said, it's from Westside Brewing, which is in Westwood, just down the road from our house. ABV is 5.5%. 5.5%. IBU is 23, and the descriptions is this traditional lager is a deep copper color with a white head. Malt flavors of bread, crusts, and caramel give way to a spicy floral hop note with a generous helping of German Hallertau hops. The finish is clean and on the dry side, making this beer great for multiple pints or pairing with meals. So I had this during our pre-production meeting, and I crushed it because this beer is very, very crushable. It's a little bit heavier than like a light lager, like your Bud Lights and stuff like that, your Pilsners, I guess. It has, as it said, it has like a crackery flavor to it, but then it finishes very clean, and that's the lager part of it, because lagers, that's a characteristic of a lager. It's supposed to be, at least. It's supposed to be very clean because you lager it, and that's what happens. So I wanted to give a shout out to Westside and their Vienna lager. It is a very delicious beer, very crushable, very drinkable, not too hoppy. It's a little dry, as it said, but I didn't really get too much of that, but it's very good. I would drink many pints of this if given the opportunity.
I'm glad I grabbed it for you.
Yeah, so I crushed that during our pre-production meeting. Is that what it's called? Pre-production?
Yeah.
In our production meeting, I guess.
The one where I took a nap.
Yes, it was a very productive production meeting. And I needed one for the podcast. So I went into the beer fridge and I grabbed a Golden Goat. That is GOAT by Sam Adams, or as the bottle says, Samuel Adams. And of course, it's the Boston Beer Company, so it's based in Boston, but they have a very large production space here in Cincinnati. So I don't know where this was brewed. Could have been Boston, could have been Cincinnati. Who knows?
Mayhaps.
The ABV is 5%, IBU is 20. And I got this in a variety pack. I think it's the Game Day variety pack. My brother got that for me for Christmas. So shout out to my brother. And the description for this beer is, let the cheering begin. Golden Goat is your craft champ from the fame whistle to overtime. This easy drinking lager will be your #1 pick on game day to keep you refreshed and coming back for more. It's definitely lighter than the Vienna. It's not as coppery. It doesn't have any of the crackery bread flavor that the Vienna lager did, but it is very crushable. It's very good. I would drink either of these on game day. And speaking of game day, I wanted to give a shout out before we move on to the Cincinnati Bengals. No, wrong team.
Who Day? Who Day? Sports ball.
Yeah. So we don't watch the Bengals as much as we used to, mostly because we don't have cable.
And also because
Small children.
And also because they're just not worth our time to watch. I mean, if they did better, maybe I'd watch them more. But I also don't really like to sports ball. So.
But Caroline, they won.
They did.
Yes, they won the first playoff game since 1991.
Wow, that's longer than I've been around.
Yes, it is.
But you're older than time itself, so you were around for that one.
I was around for that win, although they lost, I think, shortly after that win in 1991. I don't know, I get the Reds and the Bengals mixed up. Both teams haven't won
since the very early 90s.
Game.
Yeah. Well, I think the Reds have won some playoff games, but that's because
they went to a playoff game and they lost.
I thought so the last playoff game that I remember them going to, because it was like 5 games total, and it was supposed to be like 2 games in one place and 3 games in the other place. We won the first 2 games, and then we lost the last 3. I recall that was a thing at some point. I don't know what year it was, but it was
okay. So I'm thinking I think the Reds had a wild card game, which is one and done, and then you move just kind of like what the Bengals just won.
Yeah,
it's one and done. Well, that's different. And then I think a different year, maybe it was 2015 or something. I think the wild card was like 2013, and the playoff. Like 2015. I don't exactly remember, but I think that's accurate. So they were just good enough to get into the wild card that first year, which is what I was thinking of. And what you're thinking of is a later year when they were good enough to actually get in to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not the wild card, which the playoffs in baseball is I think it's best of 7.
It's either 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7. I don't remember.
The series is best of 7 for sure.
Sports ball.
Yeah.
We could Google this, but I don't care enough.
Yeah, we could Google it, but but we won't. But yeah, both Vienna Lager from West Side and Golden Goat from Sam Adams, both solid beers.
I'm glad you're enjoying them. This peanut butter is super yummy.
Yeah, I didn't even get a sip of yours.
I thought you did when you poured it.
Did I?
You might have. You might not have, though.
Now it is time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV, where you, Caroline, tell us about the lack of physics and sometimes common sense in the programs that our children watch.
So I can't remember whether or not I've talked about this one on the show before, and I was too lazy to go through all of our archives to figure out whether or not I had talked about it before, but it's still bugging me. So I'm still going to talk about it. You can listen to our back catalog and yell at me if I have talked about it before. So we recently watched what was probably like a Halloween special at some point. It was Mickey's Monster Mash.
This is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yes, this is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And on Disney Plus, it's a 2-part special. It's a 2-part episode. Though when it originally aired on the Disney Channel, they only played it as like the hour-long episode. And it's basically Mickey's Monster Rocky Horror Picture Show Light. So it starts off all innocent and sweet that Mickey, Pluto, and Minnie are going to go on a picnic. So they're driving in their car, and then their car breaks down in front of a creepy castle. And there's lots of different characters that are various degrees of monsterdom. There's lots of singing. Some songs are very similar to songs from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Is there a transvestite?
Is there a Transylvanian transvestite? Not that I'm aware of, but there is Count Micula, who is the vampire. And there's Monster Goofy, because he's Frankenstein's monster. And he's like, every time you address him as like Monster Goofy, he's like, Monster? Where? Dude, it's your name. Maybe freak out when Goofy isn't directly after Monster. But yeah, I'm just like, now I want to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I can't watch Rocky Horror Picture Show with my toddler. I mean, I could, but it'd be very frowned upon.
It would be. I don't want to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've seen it once, and that was enough.
But it's just a hop to the left, and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips, and bring your knees in tight. I'll stop now. Yeah, but basically all I could think about during that entire episode was like, this is like Rocky Horror Picture Show. When are some of these super awkward things going to happen in a children's TV show?
So now it is time for the main topic of the show, where we are going to talk about the quirks of having 2 toddlers in the house.
So much fun. Not chaotic at all. Not exhausting.
So to kind of just give some background, for those who maybe have been listening to this show, you probably already know this, but for the newer listeners, thank you for listening, by the way. We have Caroline and myself. We have Lily, our daughter, who is 2 years old, and Elliot, our son, who recently just turned 11 months. At the time of this recording.
He's getting so big. Sidebar, we have to plan his first birthday party. We got to schedule that ish eventually.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to do about that now.
I'm just reminding you this is a thing that we have to do. He's not getting any younger.
Yeah, so his birthday is in February.
He was almost a Valentine's Day baby.
Yeah.
But we kicked him out. We said, no, get out now.
Yeah.
And then Lily was born in September. So they're pretty much opposite seasons as far as when they were closed, which is lots of fun too.
Well, Elliot was born during a snowstorm.
Yeah, that was fun. Listen to our episode all about Elliot where we tell.
No, that was our Bachfest episode. Oh, no, the 6-month episode?
Yeah, I think we talked about that in his 6-month episode.
Okay. Elliot started walking at, as I said earlier, in December, which he was 10 months old. And he's toddling around the house. And at first, he wanted to run with his sister.
Uh-huh.
And he wouldn't walk. He would run.
Well, it's easier to keep your balance when you're running than when you're walking.
So he would run maybe 5 steps and then just completely fall down at first.
And then quickly crawl to wherever his final destination was.
Yeah, luckily we have carpet, so it's not as painful when he completely wipes out. And I think it's easier for him to walk on carpet too. Or maybe not. Maybe he prefers the wood floor. I think he walks more on my mom's house. They have a wood floor.
It depends on what your footwear situation is, and him and Lily like to set a lot of traps around the house, so how cleaned up those traps are helps as well. And by traps I mean toys are strewn all over my living room every 5 minutes. It's just like a tornado went through.
That's true.
The only time I can clean is when they sleep.
So as you alluded to, Lily and Elliot are 18 months apart, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they are pretty close in age.
Yeah, she has quite a few more skills than he has, but he is working on catching up to her because he wants to do everything that Big Sister does.
And he thinks that Lily walks on water.
He really does. He thinks that the sun shines out of her butt.
Which, spoilers, it does not.
Don't tell Lily that. But that is correct. It does not shine out of her butt.
So you wanted to go through some benefits.
Yes.
Of having 2 kids 18 months apart.
Yes. So my first one is that everything is already baby proofed because Lily tried to get into it and we figured out how to get her not to get into it. So now Elliot can't even think about getting into it because there's just no way for him to. Like our entertainment center already was gated up. He can't try to get in there to destroy all of our DVDs that are worth like $5.
Less than that.
I mean, really, the gaming consoles are where the money's at now. But he hasn't even had the opportunity to do that because we didn't give it to him because we had already baby-proofed it for Lily. The other thing is that you don't get used to not changing diapers. Because I have heard from parents who have kids that are like 4 or more years apart. The hardest part is that you just kicked diapers for your kid. And now you have a newborn. So, hey, I had like 6 months or so with no diapers. And now I got to start doing diapers again. And it's just, oh, why did I do this? Versus I just have not gotten off the diaper train. Now we're currently working on getting Lily out of diapers. She's getting better at recognizing her cues, but she still doesn't have enough self-awareness to super help us out with that. But we're working on it. And every once in a while we save a diaper or 4. And that's the important thing.
That's true. Yeah.
So another advantage is that your toys aren't super put away. So it's easy to find things for your youngest child to play with. So we had like 5 things, mostly like the swing and the bouncer and like the play mats that we had taken out of the living room and stored in the basement before Elliot was born. But pretty much all of the other toys that Lily had played with from newborn to present day were still in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to like try to dig through the house to figure out where did I put that box of infant toys because Lily doesn't play with them anymore. They were already in the living room. I don't have to worry about their clothes going out of style because it's not like a 5 or 6 year gap where sometimes things go out of fashion, but the kids are off seasons.
Would you worry about that if...
No, I don't care. Some people care. I don't care.
It's on your list.
Well, it was the thing that I thought of.
But that is true. With Lily, we have 0 to 3 month clothes for her, but they're for her in like September weather, not February weather.
So yeah, like all of her stuff was like fall. And it's like, oh no, we need to put Elliot in super warm things. And we have a few super warm things, but not enough.
And then like her like 9-month-old clothes are like April, but with him that's like October or something.
Yeah, so it was slightly frustrating. Now he's starting to catch up to her because sizes start getting further and further apart. So instead of it being 6-month age gaps, we're getting to a year age gaps. And she's solidly in 3T, but she has clothes that go up to 5T just so she has some more time wearing them. And he is in 18 months now. So he's catching up. All of our car seats are still good and safe. So your car seats are good for about 6 years. We didn't have to worry about whether or not our pumpkin seat had expired because we had only bought it like a year and a half ago.
Or registered for it a year and a half ago.
Yeah, or registered for it. Another thing is that they grow up so close since they're learning some of the things at the same time. So like some of the times when we go to the zoo, maybe it's both their first time actually seeing a hippo swim through the water like a maniac. They're having that shared experience together. They both are also at that age where they love snuggles and hugs. Sometimes Lily's hugs are a little much.
Little too aggressive.
They're aggressive hugs that sometimes happen around your necular region. Fortunately, she's not strong enough to do any damage yet to us, but sometimes she tries. I don't think it's purposeful. I think it's just, I want to give mommy a big hug. And I'm like, not my neck, Lily. As I like briefly see my life flash before my eyes. Like, is this it? Is this the end? Am I going to get taken out by my 2-year-old?
I don't know. I was wearing a quarter zip the other day and she kept zipping it up and up and up and up. I'm like, Lily, it doesn't go that high.
I don't want that around my neck right now.
Yeah. And she was laughing and giggling.
Yeah. So another benefit is that your oldest kid doesn't necessarily know what only child life is like. So you don't get as much of the like super jealousy about how much time mom is spending with the other kid versus them because they didn't really have like a super impressed, like everything is all about you. Now, Lily does think that everything is all about her. So there's that.
I was going to say, she had an only child moment today, I think, where we had a box laying around and my sister came over.
Oh, yeah.
And my sister made her, it was a couple of boxes. So my sister laid them out like in a square. So it was like a fort and then she put a blanket over it. And then Lily kicked her out and said, no, you can't come in.
And so then Jenna made a fort out of blankets and chairs next to Lily's fort and said, fine, this is my fort then. And so then when Jenna was out of the room and I was talking to Lily, because she had knocked one of her boxes down, so I put it back up. And I was like, here, we can combine your fort and Jenna's fort. And she's like, no, Jenna's fort, my fort. Like I had to keep them separate. Like, okay, girlfriend, you do you.
And Elliot was sleeping, so he wasn't even in the
equation.
He wasn't in the equation, yeah.
Occasionally she'll have moments like that where, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
No, you can't have this, it's mine.
Anything else as far as benefits of having 2 kids?
They work together sometimes.
Toddlers.
It's adorable when you turn around and they're both playing with the washing machine and they're not trying to murder each other over the washing machine.
The kid washing machine that your mom got.
Yes, it's a child's toy washing machine, not the actual washing machine. Though once I can figure out how to have the children consistently do laundry decently, they get to go do that. And the other benefit is that they're very snuggly because they both want snuggles all the time.
That's true. Bubba, well, Elliot, we call him Bubba because that's what Lily calls him.
Oh, one thing I didn't put in here. Your kid makes up adorable nicknames for your other child because they can barely say anything. So you get super cute nicknames for people.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't going to give Elliot a nickname. Well, Eli was going to be his nickname, but then Lily called him Bubba, and we were like, this is adorable.
Well, and it stuck really quick.
It did. Now everyone calls him that.
Yep.
So much for Eli. Whoops. But what was I going to say? You interrupted.
Super snuggly. They play together.
So Elliot is really chill. Like, he just sucks his thumb and he like randomly lays down.
He's like low energy. And every once in a while he's like, I'm just going to lay down, suck my thumb and process the last 10 minutes of my life. And I'm gonna get up and play like nothing ever happened.
But he has that very sly smile.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's up to something or he's guilty of something.
And sometimes it's because he did just pull something.
Yeah, and he has a very tight grip.
So tight.
Like if you're feeding him like a yogurt or something.
He's fast.
And you're not doing it
strong.
quick enough, he will grab it and yank it out of your hand so that the yogurt goes everywhere. That happened to me today as well.
Because he loves you. I think he did that to Jenna today too.
Yeah.
Maybe he did that to you yesterday. He totally did that to Jenna today.
Yeah. Like if you're not going quick enough, he will let you know.
Yeah.
Because he likes his food too.
He does.
Something that we're gonna...
Oh, another advantage is they eat very similar things.
Well, Lily tells him what he eats because we say, Lily, does Elliot get a strawberry yogurt or a vanilla yogurt? And she says, this one, mine. This one, Bubba's.
Yeah. At some point, we need to start letting him make decisions. I'm trying to get him to pick out his pajamas every once in a while instead of Lily.
Yeah, Lily picks out his pajamas.
She's like, no, I help. This one. Okay.
I do have a story of the two of them. So every week I drive them over to my mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually listen to the Frozen soundtrack, Frozen 1. And there's about, I think, 5 main songs with like lyrics.
Yeah.
Including the intro. Na na hey na na. Yeah, that one.
Keep going.
Na, 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 na.
See if you're good enough that the House of Mouse shut this down.
So we've timed it out so that if I'm driving from my driveway to my mom's driveway, we'll cover 5 songs, 5 of the 6 songs or whatever. We won't get to all of them, but we'll get to most of them. So we've been doing this for a couple months because I have an Android now and I don't have iTunes and all my stuff is on iTunes. So I don't know. Somehow I have Frozen on my phone. And it's not streamed, so I don't use data. It's on my phone. But Lily's favorite song on the Frozen soundtrack is, of course, Let It Go.
I mean, that's like every small child's favorite song from that soundtrack. But yes, continue.
And if you know the flow of Let It Go, it builds up to the refrain, and there's like a pause.
Mm-hmm.
The first verse builds up. And during that pause, I heard Lily say, "Sing it, Bubba." And then Elsa goes, "Let it go." It was really cute.
She's super adorable when she tries to include him in on stuff.
Is there any other stories like that that you have?
I'm sure I'll think of some as I keep going. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are also a few disadvantages to having children this close together. So one is that they're really good at pushing each other's buttons without knowing that they're pushing each other's buttons. Now, I feel like this probably happens across the board, though. But Elliot, in an attempt to stand up, will sometimes choose Lily's hair as leverage to help him stand up. She's not a huge fan of that, understandably. Lily will yank whatever toy Elliot's currently playing with and say, "No, my toy," or "I play because you're playing with it and you're having fun, therefore I should play with it so I have fun."
What were they doing in the car?
So
with Jenna.
On the way to dinner the other day, since Jenna was sitting in the back, I had to push both of their car seats next to each other so they could touch. And for a little while they were holding hands, but then they were also getting into each other's space, which they did not like.
Lily did not like to be specific.
Yeah. Bubba's just like, I want to snuggle with you. You're so awesome. And Lily's like, give me space. I don't remember what Jenna said that the kids said because we were busy looking for a parking spot.
No, Elliot put his hands on Lily's car seat.
Mm-hmm.
And Lily said no.
And shoved his hands away.
And then he giggled and did it again. That's what she said.
Because he's a little stink pot. She's a little stink pot too, so.
Yeah, she pushes him. So
she'll just shove him down.
For no reason. Just she walks over and push.
Or he'll be like standing next to the couch and she'll be on the couch. And of course, because he wants to be near her, he'll be wherever she is on the couch. And so when she gets off the couch, she just shoves him out of the way or almost steps on him because she doesn't have enough body awareness to like, hey, if I scooch down the couch 6 inches, I don't have any obstacles in my way. The other thing is that there are so many toys. I can't put anything away because either Lily's playing with it or Elliot's playing with it. So I can rotate toys out, which I need to grab my bin from the basement, dump that in the living room, and throw some toys from up here in it.
Yes, please.
So we can rotate some toys out. But there's just toys everywhere because, like, Elliot's playing with blocks and Elliot's playing with cars. Then Lily has her 30 baby dolls and all of their accessories.
Not literally 30. Feels like 30.
Yeah, I have a lot of grandchildren. Sometimes Lily will hand me 2 or 3 of my grandchildren, and I'm like, what? It's not my day to babysit. Go talk to Grandpa.
Opa?
You.
I'm not Grandpa.
Fine. Opa. I don't know. Another disadvantage is so many diapers. You change a lot of diapers every day. And now that we're trying to potty train, we have to figure out potty breaks in between diaper changes for the infant. Except now he's a toddler.
Yeah, he's not an infant anymore.
So is she a preschooler now then, or is she also a toddler? I don't know. How does this work?
She's not in preschool.
This is true. We still got another 6 months. Okay. It's getting better because Lily doesn't go through as many diapers a day as Elliot does, but it's still a lot of diaper changes. And the other thing is you need 2 of lots of things. So we needed 2 cribs that we used pack and play, 2 high chairs. Fortunately, Mom lived in our basement, so we could borrow her high chair. Bunches of car seats. Because like Elliot outgrew his pumpkin seat, well, Lily is using the next stage of car seat. So I need to buy Lily a new car seat that's the stage up so I can put Elliot in her old car seat.
That's the curse of the second child. He gets nothing new.
He gets some new things, but yeah, not a whole lot. They have so much stuff, though. They'll be fine. So they get in cahoots with each other. I swear they'll do it on purpose, where they will both go in opposite directions. So he'll go that way and make mischief, and she'll go this way and make mischief. And you got to figure out which mischief you need to stop first. Because she doesn't listen unless if she wants to. And he doesn't know what's going on yet. He just knows Mom doesn't like it when I do this. Therefore, I'm going to do it. And I need to get the Christmas tree down because lately they've been trying to play around the Christmas tree a lot more. Not necessarily like with the tree, but around the tree, where I am concerned about them knocking over the tree.
Yeah.
We'll see if the tree is down by the time this episode posts. Probably not. Maybe it'll have hearts on it for Valentine's Day. Who knows? Another disadvantage is that they want to do whatever the other is doing, no matter what the task. Now, some of the things it's easy to work around. Like if Elliot's eating, that usually means that Lily is eating too. So they just both eat at the same time and that's fine. But it's like Lily's playing with the washing machine. Well, Elliot wants to play with the washing machine too now, but they don't want to play with it the same way. Therefore, now one or both of us is going to have a breakdown because we can't do what we would like to do. Toddler emotions are very big.
They are. And speaking of eating, Lily has been likes to steal Elliot's food.
She's not going to be able to get away with that one for long. He's going to start smacking. No, mine, go away. She is in for a world of hurt when he starts fighting back.
Yeah, because he's bigger than her.
And he's than she was at his age. And he's getting closer to it. So we'll see.
I should clarify. He's outgrowing Lily. Is that a better way to say that?
He's catching up. I mean, they still have a while before they'll be about the same size, but he is catching up.
He is.
The last disadvantage that I have on my list is very snuggly. The children do not want to leave my side. Ever. So I was like, I'm going to sit on the couch for 5 minutes and just breathe and become one with myself. Well, Elliot's yanking at my knees and Lily is between my back and the couch, like super snuggles, with sometimes her super awesome hugs from behind around my neck.
You forgot Clara, too.
I don't think Clara was there, which was nice. And sometimes is Lily wants to bounce up and down wall between me and the back of the couch. We shut that down pretty quick, though. It's like, okay, I would like 5 minutes to myself. But y'all are right there. Right there.
Maybe don't try to get 5 minutes to yourself on the couch.
Well, I have to be able to see them. I'm just going to go hide in the one spot in the kitchen where they can't see me and eat some chocolate. If I tuck up into a ball, they can't see me while I eat my forbidden snacks.
They both really like chocolate, by the way.
They do.
Because they had a stocking in, I guess, was it St. Nick or Santa?
Santa's the one that brought the candy, though really it should have been St. Nick. But St. Nick did not do a great job this year. St. Nick was very tired. St. Nick will do better next year.
So I guess Santa Claus brought them some chocolate, not a ton, but like those mini Reese's.
Yeah, so like some mini Reese cups, some mini Reese trees, and then some mini Hershey bar Santa Clauses.
Yeah, so not every day, not even.
Well, because we forgot about the candy in our stockings until like January 1st.
Yeah, whoops.
So we didn't even touch it until the new year.
But we didn't eat it either, so.
No, we didn't. We were good parents. I mean, I'm about to crush all the candy in their stockings so I can put their stockings away. There's not much left, though. But yeah, we would give them one piece. Well, Elliot would get one piece. Lily would get 1 or 2 pieces, depending upon what she got and what she had eaten for dinner.
Yeah.
And so we'd be like, Lily, do you want something out of your stocking? She's like, oh, stocking, yay. So it was only like super after Christmas that we really learned what a stocking was.
Yeah.
I still don't know if she knows what a stocking is. Just that if we say stocking, that usually means she's going to get chocolate.
And they both really like it.
They do.
Elliot wears it more than eats it, I feel like.
I mean, he's at that age. He's building his fine motor skills. He's building his fine motor skills. He needs to do this himself. Getting messy is part of the process. He needs those fine motor skills. Don't do it for him so he's cleaner. That is what I tell myself every meal.
Yeah, and speaking of cahoots, we didn't even talk about the dogs. Because Lily and Zoe, our oldest dog, I guess, we have 2 dogs. When Lily was his age, those 2, she would purposely feed Zoe.
It got to the point where we had to keep the dogs out of whatever room the toddler was eating in, so Zoe would not eat half of Lily's food.
And I feel like lately Zoe has been sweet talking Elliot now.
Yeah, I think he dropped a whole piece of sausage for her this morning. Like, here you go, bud. Enjoy. Get the toots for mom and dad when you sleep in their bed tonight. I'm pretty sure I heard him say that exact phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
thanks, bud. Love you.
So not only are Elliot and Lily in cahoots with each other, it's Elliot and Zoe, our oldest dog.
Zoe is just here for that meal ticket, man. That is all the kids are to her.
And Clara's like afraid of everything, so she doesn't get any, usually.
Well, it's hilarious. Like, Clara has eaten banana like at least 100 times. And every time I hand her a piece of banana, she's like, what's that? It looks questionable. I don't know if I want to eat this. Meanwhile, Zoe has already eaten her piece of banana and is eyeing Clara's piece. So like Clara will daintily put it in her mouth and then set it on the ground and sniff it, and then she'll pick it up again and eat it. Meanwhile, Zoe is like, if you take 1 second longer, I'm going to eat that for you. And I'm like, dude, if you lose your banana, that's not my fault at this point. Eat your food.
It's true. So is there anything else you want to talk about as far as quirks and...
Just enjoy the ride. Remember that they're learning. You are learning, but they are learning way more than you are. Save some things to use as ammo later, especially during the teenage years. Hey, yeah, you can make fun of how mommy doesn't know how to use her cell phone properly, but I had to teach you how to use a spoon so you wouldn't spill half of your soup across your front. Okay, so we need you to chill out, show mommy how to do this thing, and then you can go play with your little friends.
Is that what's going to happen?
Yes.
Lily already has a shirt that says Grandpa's
tech support.
Yeah.
It's so cute. So recently I was having her pick out what she wanted to wear for the day, and I was like, we're going to go with a shirt and pants because she's been really into dresses, and I'm like, it's way easier to potty train if you're in a shirt and pants because I don't have to worry about the dress and what's going on with the dress.
Yeah, that's a new thing. She every day I feel like it's dress.
Yeah.
Dress. I'm like, dude, it's January.
I have to do so many layers to make this work.
Calm down with the dress.
So she picks out her blue shirt and she says, Papa, which is what she calls her grandpa. And I'm like, that's right. Grandpa's tech support. And so all day she was pointing to her shirt and saying Papa. But unfortunately, Papa is still not allowed. Well, now he's allowed to come over to the house. At the time, he was not allowed to come into the house because we were trying to keep him safe from the Rona.
Yes.
So we'll have to have Lily wear it when we go over to see how their new house is all set up now that they actually have furniture. So she can spend some time with her Papa and teach him how to use all of the new gadgets in his new house.
I don't even think they have a TV.
They do. It's on the floor. It's their old TV.
But they got rid of that.
No, they put it in storage.
So now it is time for Joe's Dad Joke of the Week.
Yay.
And this week's joke, just to set this up, it is a snow-themed joke to go with Snowmageddon, that theme, which Snowmageddon is happening right now. It is snowing buckets.
I mean, I haven't looked outside since we started recording, so, I mean, it could be up to the windows. I don't know.
We're surrounded, we're stuck, but we have beer and bread, and I think we have eggs and milk, so I think we're good.
We should be good.
Those are the 4 things that you need. Usually Cincinnati only focuses on the 3, the bread, eggs, and milk.
Mm-hmm.
But we threw in a 4th
we are a
thing.
We are a very diverse household as far as the things that we need for snow.
Yes. So in light of all the snow that's going on, I have a joke. Are you ready?
I am ready.
So, okay. What do you call it when a snowman throws a tantrum?
I don't know.
A meltdown.
Yeah.
Get it?
That's cute.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Craft Parenting Podcast. So look us up and follow us. And if you would like to follow me personally, as mentioned earlier, I am on Instagram at Craft Parenting Joe. You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show. That is what helps our show grow. If you'd like to send us stuff such as fan mail, pineapples, craft supplies, or sanity if you happen to have any lying around, we have a P.O. box.
And all this information is available on our website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com.
That's where we have the show notes. Plus, we've been writing more blog posts this year about some of the stuff that doesn't make it into the podcast. So, like, if you're wondering, where did our week in review go? It's on the blog.
Yes. So every Saturday we will post that.
Yep.
And we have a very strong editorial calendar. We have a plan.
We have more than a pla.
We do. So make sure to go check out, read all the blogs.
Click all the links. Like all the things.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. Pound subscribe. I don't know what the YouTubers say. Insert things that YouTubers say here.
Okay. And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast. is going on?
I don't know.